For the last few years, well, let me backtrack. I was living a pretty authentic life. I was living out what I felt inspired action, inspired calling was for my life at the time. And I just dissolved in the joy of being immersed in something I loved so much, which felt so true for me. And then I let it go. It just no longer, it's not that it no longer felt true, it felt that there was something else that was beckoning me to come towards. And it brought up so much fear because I had found this place of joy, this um, sense of purpose in what I had found as an expression, outward expression of purpose for me. And it was walking once again into the unknown. Could I do that? I wasn't quite sure, and I had no idea of what it would look like. Before there was some idea, it was farming, and it was pretty obvious what it would look like on the ground in my mind. But as it became something other than farming, to share some of these deeper aspects of myself, this journey that I've been on, it was terrifying. And stepping out into the putting myself out there was with the farming, if it failed, it somehow it felt okay. Like I tried and it was done. But with this other thing, it felt so deep and close to me, something truer than I've ever felt before. What if I failed at that? And so at first I started sharing personal journeys, stories of what I was going through, my fears, the rejection that I felt at the time. I made the story all about me. And at the time, that was scary enough. But now I'm seeing that even making the story all about me was a way to protect myself. Because if it was all about me, I wasn't making any statements that could be denied in some way. How could anyone contradict my own experience? Maybe they could read into my intentions and motivations, but they couldn't deny my experience. Because it was my experience, not theirs. Now, being called into this other realm, and seeing that these patterns and stories are more than just my own, but part of the human journey, feels scary once again. Now it's not, I can't claim that it's just my experience that I'm sharing so no one can contradict me. But it's really stepping up and owning the observations that I've witnessed. Not only that I've witnessed, but that somehow I just intuitively have sensed and observed through my interactions with others, and has just life has progressed. I was looking for validation of an awakening that I had. But then it became owning my own experience, not looking outside for someone to validate what it was. I can see now that that was just another tool to keep me spinning around in circles, believing I had to be something other than what I was, experience something other than what I was experiencing. That I had put people on pedestals ahead of me as being gurus that knew these answers that I had to somehow figure out. And in some sense, not to deny the usefulness of that, But I can also see how it was a barrier. It was denying the power of my own awakening, making me believe that because my experience didn't look exactly like another person's, that it wasn't expressed in the same way with the same words in a more with a different quite a different flavor to it. I started slowly disowning my own experience. I started shutting down and searching out there for a better experience. In a way, moving away from authenticity. I guess I was authentic in expressing the search, expressing the desire in my heart, but I was denying the experience that had been gifted to me as somehow being inferior, not quite right, maybe misleading people. And I think that's another story that I've been telling myself to prevent these gifts that I've been given from being shared. That they might not be correct. They might not be your experience. They might mislead you. And also feeling like because my experience isn't abiding all of the time, that I still slip into patterns of reactivity, of self-doubt, of righteousness at times even, that means that there's something to be purified yet. And in a way, it's not that I want to deny and say that I can live with these aspects of myself, or that it's okay that they're there. It's not that either. No. It's kind of funny because it's not constantly trying to purify ourselves, and it's also not becoming passive to our egoic ways. It's seeing that, yeah, they may still express, they may still come through. Maybe the awakening that we've had isn't fully embodied. Maybe it never will be. It was something that never even occurred to me. Was that this whole thing called life, maybe it's a constantly evolving embodiment. That there can be an awakening and a deepening of embodiment. It doesn't deny that an awakening occurred. It's something shifted within. These terms like awakening and enlightenment, I think, can mislead us. Suddenly, in my experience, this sense of doership fell away. This sense of comparison, the judging mind, the distrust with life, feeling like a victim, wanting things to be other than they were, all started to fall away. My husband even left at the time, and I felt total trust about it. I felt so weird. Like, am I not feeling this? Am I denying what's happening? My business fell away. Deep pain set in. Yet there was this sense of okayness about it, that it was happening as it should. There was a trust in life. When things didn't go my way, I didn't claim that it had to be my way for me to be happy. There was this love that came through me for everyone and everything that was so different from my experience before. Just felt this love and joy, and the sense of judgment and comparison of others fell away. I felt so totally present with them, so real, so me, so joyous, so supportive of them. Nothing felt like it was a competition anymore. And yeah, I guess the point of this video is really to embrace your own experience, whatever that may be. Don't believe that your experience has to look like anyone else's experience to be valid, to be trustworthy. You will know in your heart when your experience is authentic, when it's real. There's no longer a trying for it to be a certain way. There's no longer yeah, it just feels so true in a way, like that defensiveness and impressing and everything just kind of falls away. And maybe it still appears, but there's some deep knowing within you. And it may occur very subtly, and that's okay too. However it appears, whenever it appears, whatever it looks like, is totally valid. I guess that's what I'm trying to say, is it's for you to own your own experience, to trust yourself, to be totally self-honest enough to be able to trust yourself, not having anything to hide from even you. And when that happens, magic and miracles and transformation will abound. May you too uncover the authentic being within you, and be able to trust it and live from it in each moment. In each moment. Experience the joy of being you.